toast woman in, yeah, woman.
I don't think they care about maybe they just don't get the woman part, but it's Telegram and.
Yeah, I mean, modern times could mean anything now, hey?
But that's a good thing. At least it's just not spam. I mean, at least it's mostly just spam and not,
All family friendly.
Yeah.
Let's just give it one more minute. Is Mita here? No, not yet. All right, just waiting for Mita. Ramon, can you let him in, please?
Yeah, already.
Hello.
There he is. Hello.
Hi, Mitra.
Hi.
Mita. Yes, you did say that. All right. Let's get started. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome to community call number 88 for Everscale. We got some actually really frigging super awesome presentations today, but as luck would have it, there are several of them, and several of them are going to be slightly lengthier than usual. We're talking maybe 10 minutes plus or minus. So we're going to sort of just dive right in. But first, for anybody that's joining us that hasn't been here before, just a few simple rules. Unless you have extenuating circumstances, please turn your cameras on so we can see your lovely faces. Please save your questions until each presenter is finished and use the raise your hand feature in Zoom to do so. If you're joining us on YouTube, please write your question in the comments section. We'll get to it at the very end. And as always, this call is conducted in English. So let's move on to our usual start with Mitya on network health and technical updates, if you would. Let's go ahead.
Hi. Sure. Well, network is quite healthy, but there are several patches, security patches that will gonna be released, hopefully even today. Let's see, if not tomorrow. One of them should have been released on Friday. We didn't have time to test, so it moved. There are a few others. There are thanks for several members of the community who are not letting us sleep a lot by discovering certain, places where we could improve the security. Let's say that something like that. And so yeah. So we're trying to respond as fast as possible, and we're still discovering bugs in the old design. So we're still running compatibility mode, and because of this compatibility mode, we're unfortunately had to bring with us also certain baggage of of certain bugs. And we're now, okay, fixing them. So this is what's going on. We're still having several, like 3%, 4% of the network running all sorts of versions. Like the vast majority of the validators are running the latest, but there are some validators who are still running the old versions. You still need to wake up, guys. I mean, what's the point of having okay, I will apply this patch, I won't apply next. Any reason? Like, tell me what's the reason. why are you running block version 17 and not 18? I just want to know that. I mean, what's the reason for 1% of the network just running 17 or 16 version of the block and not upgrading? So yeah, I understand validators can travel without access to their computers. No, I don't. I don't. But it seems happening for like 2 months, 2 months and a half. I don't know. Well, anyway, so it's actually not very funny because it really makes the network less secure. So you do need to have access to your validator machine, and you do need to upgrade your machine to the latest software version. Please just do that. So this patch that will go out need to be upgraded by all the validators. There are important security vulnerabilities that we're patching, and we don't want shards stopped. We don't want we're patching the holes. You need to upgrade the nodes. End of story. And you can, like, if you read the code, and most of our validators actually read the code. So if you read the code, you can see what the patch is all about. You can understand why it is important to upgrade. I mean, it's really there in the code. For reason I'm not discussing the patches, security patches particularly, because before they go out, like, you understand why. So before the patch actually applied, there is a vulnerability, so we don't want people to use it, right? Or making it simpler for them to use it. But when you have the patch, you can see the code, right? And you do understand how important it might be sometimes. So please update the nodes. Well, I think that's it in terms of technical updates.
Okay, thank you, Mitya. And yes, I've enjoyed this. Okay, good. All right. Thank you very much. Does anybody have a question for Mitya?
Maybe just one more thing. We are Ilya is doing great job on documentation, technical documentation. So there is a GitHub Everscale or GitHub, and in this GitHub now there are standards. Actually, there is a work going on around these standards, and so for everyone who is programming, maybe it's important that you go visit this GitHub repository and check the standards, and then because they are implying certain changes you need to make into the contract development, in some particular in token contract development, some other token developments, and if you have anything to propose also, please do. You can influence some discussions. There are discussions that are recorded on the GitHub around the standards, so your feedback would be highly appreciated, and you're more than welcome to participate in this. Now the standard has been reorganized, as I proposed to kind of, because of the distributed programming paradigm that we're in, we cannot make standards like they used to, for example, in Ethereum, where you can just make a whole standard contract with the standard interface in one contract and having put it in and say this is the ERC20, ERC701 or whatever. We cannot do that. So in our case, because the compactness is very important of the code, so in our case, it's not there is no single standard. It's a tree of standards. So there is a general description of what the general framework of the standard is, and then there are some necessary interfaces which are described in for example, tip 3 now has tip 3.1, which describes the general standard interfaces, That if you want to have another, if you need another, like Flex, for example, needs other interfaces to tip3, so that will be tip 3.2. And then you can create any tip you want, tip 3.3, 4, whatever, having different set of these interfaces in your particular contract, and that would be just standardized under this number. So anyone who has particular tip 3 contract which needs particular interfaces for compactness, doesn't need others, then this particular set of interfaces you can standardize. And that if you do that, then it means that all the stack may support that. So for example, like your code hash of your tip3, for example, tip 3.9, will be then recognized by the cloud, for example, will supported by the cloud. You can make all sort of like select search and so on for your contracts. And then you can add these tokens that you make under this contract into all sorts of, DApp websites, which tracks DApps, tracks TVL, and so on and so forth, right? So I think it's kind of important. Thanks.
Thank you. And we have a question from Alex. Alex, go ahead.
Yeah, hello. I have a question for me. Actually, I'm keep increasing my Rust language skills. So I got a question. Why don't we have a compilator from Rust? So we have a Solidity, we have C++, and is Ton Labs going to develop compiler?
Compiler for us, that's the question. Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit. I already answered that question several times. There is no real need for that. It's just the syntaxes basically, because anyway, it's every compiler we do. It's not really C++. It's not really a C++ compiler. It's a DSL. It's kind of C++, right? Because like the working with memory is different. It's not really like a C++, right? It's some kind of DSL on top of C++ syntaxes. So DSL is domain-specific language for whoever doesn't know that. So so there is no need for another syntaxes on that, because it doesn't really give anything. It doesn't. The Rust language as a system language has great properties, which is hardly the properties we're looking for in developing the smart contracts. It won't make the smart contracts on Rust more secure if we use Rust DSL kind of Rust in a smart contract developer. But there are some other important kind of different languages that you can have in making these languages more secure by design, but these are not Rust. And the good example, I think then the guys from OLAPs are working on some smart contract language which can be used, for example, as a language for TVM target, which would provide some additional security, and also obviously prevented the Ursus language, which is the language written in Coq, which translates into Solidity, which is makes formal verification much easier. So this kind of work is definitely interesting to pursue and to develop. Rust, not so much. Like what you need as a security model for system level language, the general computer system level language, and what you need for blockchain kind of system level language is not the same. Simply doesn't have the same properties. I don't know if I think this is several times I already tried to explain that. This question is still popping up. It's just because the Rust is so popular, but you cannot just take if you have a hammer, not everything is a nail,
Yeah, and you contributed to Rust popularity by promoting Rust nodes.
And Rust is an absolutely great language for write node software. Absolutely unbelievably great language to write node software. Not so much for smart contracts.
Borrow some memory.
Well, as long as we have Obi-Wan Kenobi with us. Ivan, go ahead. You had a question.
Just
No,
I
sorry,
feel that
Alex.
solidity-
Alex, I hope your
Okay.
question was answered. Go ahead, Ivan.
Yeah,
Sorry,
short question. Sorry, Alex. Yeah.
Alex is breaking up all the time.
Yeah, Alex, your internet connection is so-so.
Fine.
Really, actually, last addition, feel that Solidity is has some restrictions, and just could we switch like C++ compiler to Rust compiler? Just I don't so strong in C++, and because we have some restriction Solidity compiler, like I'm too lazy to study C++.
Well, sorry.
Did you get that?
Like that Alex is too lazy to study C++ compiler and doesn't want to develop on Solidity. Well, go study the the Ursus, the cock. Try that.
I can write you some Python scripts to generate some beautiful smart contracts on Solidity.
There you go. All right, Ivan, go ahead.
Yeah, my question is pretty much easier than that. Yeah, I just wondering what can user do if he wants to sort of like he has USDT like 3.2 standard and 3.9 standard, but he perceives it's like the same USDT, but they are lying on another contract. So how do you suggest sort of managing this balances? That the balance is sort of unite thing, and like how do we manage that? A lot of wallets, but one balance.
You mean the total balance of all the?
Well, not only, but I'm speaking about.
But do you need to manage it? How do you want to manage it?
I'm speaking about sort of like, for example, one DEX uses one standard and another DEX uses another standard, and how to solve the problem of flowing liquidity from one DEX to another, for example.
Just through the wrapper contract.
Okay.
It's really easy, and users don't even need to know that. Like if you can just abstract that completely.
Does that answer your question?
Are there some examples or at least descriptions of wrapper contracts?
There are examples in Flex, yeah.
Fine. Okay, definitely needs to look.
Thank you, Ivan. Okay, Michael.
Yeah, hi guys. This question is sort of relevant and irrelevant at the same time. We do not know that the REST node will be in like battle testing and upgrades for half a year from now. It was said in the validators chat, and I was wondering what are the dates roadmap for Rusty pools, Dirty pools, or whatever they are going to be called. They have been announced that there is a concept, but there are no dates. And I think that people who bought crystals at that point had to, had some timeline in their head, and now they don't. And there is no public data about that. And as far as I understand, Mita, you are the person who is most aware of what's what in that direction. Could you please comment on this one? Thank you.
Yeah, sure, I can. Yeah. So as I proposed, there will be, can be dark pools contracts that can be used to for a certain period of time to lock the tokens before the new Electra contracts, the Electra contracts are ready. That these contracts will support already like the validation with the whatever augmented stakes farming for the Rust Cup winners. Now, so I said that for the next 6 months, for example, we can use dark pools so people can stake and farm the tokens without actually participating in validation. And then within like 6 months, we will finish the delector and everything around that, and then you can, because like the delector contract is is something that we're working on right now already. And so 6 months sounds to me like a time frame which definitely will work for us. And the dark pool contracts, actually, they are done. I think we are actually delivering them like tomorrow. It's actually not us. The Provender wrote these contracts by the way, in Ursus. So they will be kind of easily formally verified next step, quite simply and quickly. So like we can do that in February.
So did I get you correctly that the code is ready? It's waiting for, or almost ready, and the formal verification will take like a week.
Like, something like
okay. Full verification will take some short time. So early February, we hope to see those dark deep pools up and running, and people will be able to lock their crystals, not even the validators, because this is a program that's like grabs all the liquidity from the market and locks, which I think is pretty important and pretty healthy for all the efforts done. Okay, thank you. So we're like, let's say an estimate of 10th of February. Will it work as approximate date of the launch? What would you say?
Approximate date is fine as long as it's soon.
No.
As long as you use the sticker, as long as you use the sticker, is fine with me.
No, I think that we have to move away from the soon concepts and move to something closer to road mapping and pretty close dates.
Road mapping is quite soon. Actually.
So okay, 10th of February.
Road mapping is quite soon, quite close to soon. Believe me. If you look at how roadmaps usually works.
Thank you.
Like
and when Binance?
Yeah, I do understand.
When Binance,
All right, guys, we need to move on because we have some long presentations. So I hope that answered your questions. Let's move on to our next presenters, plural. I don't know if you're aware, but there's some pretty cool stuff going on. Everscale, Tezos, and I believe Avalanche are creating a DeFi developers hackathon. And I think they just had a meetup on the 15th of January, if I'm not mistaken. And I know Ilya was one of the major contributors and organizers for that, as well as Ivan, who's with us obviously today, our own DeFi Alliance, and also Anastasia, who works very, very closely with Tezos. So, and she's with us today as well. So I think this is going to be very interesting for everybody. I guess, let's see, Ivan, maybe you start and then we kind of transition to Anastasia.
Yeah, sure. So you might think about like what's that, like Tezos, what? The Tezos community has very original ideas in terms of managing intellectual and community resources. And so let me just share a screen and show you basically the landing page. So that's it. I will switch to English. Yeah. So this is a largest event in Russian-speaking community. This is online hackathon. It will last for a month, I think, and it has very interesting structure in terms of sort of organization of developers, and splitting them between challenges. And Anastasia maybe will elaborate more on that. So I will just shortly describe why are we there and how do we participate actually. So we are baking challenges along with other projects like Avalanche and Tezos, mostly Tezos. So it works like someone backs a challenge with tokens, and then community comes and solves challenges and wins some sort of prizes. So it's pretty much popular sort of model. So we sponsor 2 challenges here. The first is a bridge from Everscale to Tezos, obviously by Brooks' team, and the task is like pretty obvious. Just you need to integrate Tezos and all their sort of token contracts to bridge infrastructure which Proxys already have, along with DAO and fund management strategy system underlying. And this is the I would say full product, but the actual integration of tokens will be enough, I think. And the second challenge is much more interesting in terms of cooperating between communities and switching developers here and there. So the second challenge is backed by Eversurf, backed in terms of consultations and reviewing. Everything is backed by DeFi Alliance, but the idea came from Surf team, and the idea is to manage Tezos wallet by a dbot deployed on Everscale. And this is so obviously sort of introduces a dbot interface concept, and this is a good first step to understand end-to-end decentralization paradigm, which we which we want to teach people to use the decentralization and the call and don't write shit.
Ivan, by chance, do you have
so that's it. This is a description of challenges, and now I pass the word to Anastasia. Please tell us what's special in the process and how, why should teams participate?
Yeah, I will tell more about how it works and why it's really cool for my point of view. So actually, the hackathon, as it was mentioned, will last for 1 month, and participants can create teams of up to 6 people and choose up to 2 challenges to implement during the hackathon. Right now, there are about 12 challenges, and as I know, there are about 50 teams registered. So it's about 8 teams per 1 challenge, because organizers plan to equally distribute all participants and all teams between these challenges, so that each challenge were implemented many teams and there were better results. And actually, at the beginning of this hackathon, there will be some workshops that will help people to get familiar with tools that exist on both Tezos ecosystem, and if you provide your own workshops also with Everscale, and it might help teams to better understand the development process on the ecosystems. Also, I believe that such a challenge-driven ecosystem, challenge-driven hackathon might solve the problem when teams, move from one hackathon to another hackathon, then to another hackathon with the same code and solve the same problem. And it's not really fair and helpful for the ecosystem, because team never stop on one ecosystem and continue developing after the hackathon. So such a challenge-driven hackathon might help to solve it, and people will basically stop on either Tezos or Everscale and continue developing their solutions built from during the hackathon. And actually, the team where I'm working on right now, it's Medfish Solutions, have started from such a hackathon 2 years ago. we participated in Tezos Hackathon, like 3 teams, and we created decentralized exchange, we created wallet and solidity to legal compiler, received grants from for them, and now we build a lot of projects on Tezos only, just because we met such an opportunity to join the hackathon. And that's why I believe that Tezos and Everscale can attract more developers just due to such an event.
Thank you very much, Anastasia. Very, very interesting. We do have questions. Michael, welcome, please.
Hey, thanks, Ron, and great, sounds like a great competition. Anastasia, I'm happy to get all the information for that and share it to my network. And we also just finished the Next Top 10 startup competition a few days ago. We had about 275 people that registered for that. So happy to send the.
I guess the connection is lost.
Yeah, Michael, we kind of lost you there.
Yeah, yeah, happy to send the information about this to the people that registered for that, and to connect a few developer groups that we were working with.
I guess that you can send it in our chat, so you can use it.
Yeah, it's in Zoom right now. I haven't sent the link. Yep, I'll also pin it to YouTube. Michael, did you have anything else? We're kind of losing you a little bit in and out.
Yeah, no, that's it. Just
cool
to get more context on that.
Cool.
Possible,
Excellent.
I'll add about the Tone Startup competition, if it's possible.
The what? I'm sorry.
I wanted to add to something that Mike said about a Tone Startup competition.
Okay, go ahead. Can we, by the way, is there any way to change it to the Everscale startup competition?
Yeah, definitely. We just need to. The startup, it was halfway done when we started it. Yeah. But yeah, we'll definitely run it as the Next Top Everscale competition next.
Yeah, Nikita, absolutely. Yeah. If you want to add absolutely, but if I may, Alex had his hand up, so let's sort of just go in order. Alex.
Yeah, actually, I have a question to Ivan or I don't know, Anastasia. Could you? I didn't took part in a hackathon before, but I know very well what is a contest in the Everscale community. For such users like me, could you explain, please, what is the main difference between contest in the sense of Everscale and hackathon? Thank you.
Well, yeah, sure. I can shortly describe it the hackathons are more efficient and more engaging community, and they are less. They put less borders on the solution on which are actually made. So there is a short and concise description on what topic you should take on. But there are no requirements, criteria, and also judgment, however, is more subjective. That this is maybe true, but this is also much more professional, as well as onboarding processes and support during the event. That's it. Maybe Anastasia can add something.
I'm not sure that challenges on Tezos Hackathon are limited, because you can just choose the topic, and if you meet all the conditions in the challenge, that's all right. You can just expand it with more functionality if you need. So it's not limited only by the task in challenge.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anastasia. Nikita.
Yep, I just wanted to add that there are quite a few submissions, not only application but submissions in the top startup competition. So we in DeFi Alliance are examining the.
It's hard to hear. It's hard to hear you, Nikita.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah.
Yeah. So we at DeFi Alliance are now examining the submissions because some of them, of course, are like maybe mistakes or something like that, but some of them are actually make sense. So after that, we will present to the community what was submitted, and we hope that we find at least capable people that we can integrate in our community. And if we are lucky enough, we can actually get even the whole teams with projects that can integrate in our community. Yes, maybe they can even be eligible for a grant. So we'll keep all you guys posted what's happening. And after that, with Mike, I think we will try to understand what can we do better next time to get more submissions, maybe promote a little bit better. But I think that's the first our initiative. I think it's about 45 submissions. So each submission has, I think, a link to source code, a video made. So, I mean, at least it had some time. People had to spend some time, to submit their application. So anyway, I think already something. And actually it didn't cost us a lot. So again, I think it was a really good initiative. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Nikita. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Nikita. Anastasia. Anastasia. Yeah. You're going in and out, Mike.
I think Mike has to mute.
Yeah. Michael, we can hear you. Can you mute your microphone, please? Yeah. Or, I'm still not muted. Yep, there we go. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, guys, to sum up, hackathons is understandable way for any rock star or just a simple developer from like zero to hero and like to join great team, meet great people, and finally build products and businesses. That's it.
Yeah.
So join Tezos Hackathon.
Awesome. Good stuff. Very good stuff. All right. Thank you very much. We have to move on to our next presenter. So a lot of people have been asking about what's going on with Dune and the Dune swap. We have Fabrice joining us today. Fabrice, welcome. Thank you for coming. So he's going to give everybody sort of an update on what's going on with the Dune swap. Fabrice, please.
Yes, of course.
Oh, we can't hear you. You sound like you're 20 miles away.
Maybe
there
now.
we go. There we go. Yep.
Okay, so we started swapping tokens. Dune.
Nope, you're disappeared again.
Yes, I think I have a problem with my computer.
Yeah, now we hear you and then we don't. Then we hear you and then we don't.
So I'm going to try to.
Fabrice forked.
His microphone's forked.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes. No.
Yeah. Sorry for that. I just need to say that. Sorry.
You too, Ivan, by the way. You need to put your headphones on. We even have a comment on YouTube says, can we like start putting our headphones on?
Now you're on mute.
Talking to people, talking to another world.
Yeah, today's an audio like Joanne just said. It's an audio issue today with everybody. I hope I'm not part of the club.
No, you're good.
Fabrice, do you wanna? You're on mute. We don't hear you.
So I hope this time it's going to work.
Now it's good.
Okay, so
yes,
we started swapping a few months ago.
I think something like noise reduction is working. So when you start speaking, something happens and sound slows.
Maybe it's something to do with his wire. Like it just moves a bit and then,
Wire.
you know, it's something to do with movement, I think. And it just kind of goes
Well,
out.
I'll tell you what, I mean, we have two more presentation, well, one more before we get to our close. So maybe we can sort of swap. Fabrice, if it's okay with you, I'm going to go to the next one and then.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's do
will that work? All right,
Yes.
cool. All right, we invited Marina back from IT Gold. She's going to talk about a newly forming NFT Alliance, which I am personally very interested in. So Marina, please tell us about NFT Alliance.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Ron. I will try to, I have a lot to speak actually, but I will try to be as fast as I can, considering the situation with Fabrice. Well, so let's start. I will today tell you about our new NFT and GameFi Alliance, which is forming, and I will give you some general details, and then maybe I hope we will soon announce the date of the Emma session where we can discuss the situation in more details. Well, let's start from the thesis that I think there is no doubt that wide coverage of NFT market is important for the development of the Everscale network. And that is why IT Gold.io is glad to announce the appearance of new collaboration in the Everscale blockchain we call NFT and GameFi Alliance. The community of like-minded individuals and companies with a common goal to create an environment for substantial and sustainable growth of Everscale blockchain. Alliance teams, including IT Gold.io itself, Grand Bazaar.io, Chess NFT.com, NFT Third Place, Roscope Game, Braxis, ScalePunks.com, and Svoidev, NFTWiki.org, and Tonloot. All these companies had already invested a lot into Everscale blockchain-based NFT and GameFi projects development and onboarding. And Alliance will allocate financial means to NFT and GameFi projects with good reputation. And those, in turn, will be developing products with the use of Everscale blockchain. The Alliance activity will be directed to the rising popularity of NFTs on Everscale and increasing their number and turnover, increasing of transaction numbers in Everscale network, attraction of new NFT and GameFi projects into Everscale, motivation and assistance to NFT and GameFi development teams in creating new Everscale blockchain-based projects, and assistance on Everscale blockchain onboarding to successful existing projects. Alliance participants put all the effort to implement the best practices of NFT structure, including game-related NFT. Presently, wallets like Eversurf and Everspace already support NFT displaying. So we are moving to the standardization, which will help to ensure mutual compatibility of all NFT projects on the Everscale blockchain. The Alliance efforts are largely aimed at promoting and recognizing NFT on Everscale. One of the target points is this direction. We see ensuring the listing of Everscale NFT on major platforms such as DAppRadar, which is already done, frankly, NFT scoring, crypto scores, CoinMooner, NFT Evening, NFT Calendar, Non-Fungi, Next NFT Drop, Gem Hunters, Coin Hunters, etc. In addition, we set a task to list top 10 NFT marketplaces operating on the Everscale network on popular aggregators. And in order to attract more creators and users who will buy NFT, the Alliance plans to solve several technical problems we see now. It is a lack of mechanism for publicly displaying an up-to-date list of acquired NFTs, the lack of standard of NFT trading, a lack of a single standard of NFTs for all Everscale marketplaces, the lack of convenient way to collect statistics on single NFTs and NFT collections. I mean, sales volume, number of users, etc. And to solve these problems, it is proposed to develop such additional mechanics as farming and staking NFT, selling NFT for tip-free, NFT collateral lending, NFT bridges to other networks, starting from Ethereum and so on. And our experience and experience of Alliance members in creation and promotion of NFT has shown that in order to attract new NFT and GameFi projects to the Everscale blockchain, a history of previously successfully sold collection is needed. However, at the moment, not all creators are ready to post their works on the Everscale blockchain due to its low popularity, adoption, and, forgive me please, small and sometimes inert community. This makes almost impossible to launch successful collections that will attract public attention, and this significantly slows down the development of the network itself. Therefore, we propose to, on behalf of the NFT and GameFi Alliance, to launch the kind of creators program within which the first step will be to attract well-known creators with their own audience and traffic. Our opinion is that in order to create a comfortable environment for creators, it is necessary to deliver a certain number of successful sold outs. To increase the popularity of NFTs on Everscale, we plan to support and release about 10 NFT collections, approximately 10,000 items each, with the average value about $100 per item. We are going to invest into marketing and promotion, which will include, among other steps, purchasing the rights from the epic creators who have rights to content and audience, for tokenization it in NFT, like joint drops, in collaboration with Atomic Games, with their most ambitious game project of 2022. We are going to make their first fun airdrop. As a part of the partnership with Mail.ru Games, minimum 10,000 true NFTs of Warface game will be issued and implemented in the form of cards and unique mechanics of minting game objects by players themselves. We also are having some commitments to guarantee the sellout of these NFT tokens. We will start the distribution of these tokens to influencers and launch several other significant airdrops. This will serve as a base for potential creators to understand that there is an active and investing audience in Everscale blockchain. And to achieve this goal, we assume to provide 3-4 sold out collections in the primary market, 4-5 major sales, like about $300,000 plus in the secondary market. We will involve influencers from social media, tier 1 media, for example, MintMe.com News, Cointelegraph, U Today, and so on, NFT calendars, of NFT calendar, coin Rivet, I don't know, upcoming NFT drops and so on, and listings like NFT scoring, depth radar, crypto scores, Mobi, and so on. The goal is to create affordable, standardized, easy access to minting. We will use podcasts, forums, integration with relevant programs, and so on. Our own NFT groups in social media. I hope these will cover events on the market and bring more announcement to all these activities. Well, to attract the attention of investors who can invest in Everscale blockchain, we plan to launch a NFT farming program for premium NFT collections minted on Everscale. We already have the greatest works of art on NFT third place. We already have FIDE World Championship in Dubai and World Rapid and Blitz Chess Championships on chessnft.com. Grand Bazaar.io is also preparing several premium collections with well-known participants of Russian market like Warface and international market like Warface, Dosa Premium Collection, Atomic Heart, which I already mentioned, Rust Cup Game, Iowa, it is a singer, a Russian singer, popular. And there will be more to come. We are going to include several collections with popular artists. And also one of the goals of the Alliance is the development of the virtual economy in metaverses and blockchain games. Sorry, losing my voice because I just covering from the COVID.
Oh gosh, okay.
Excuse me, yeah. It's a horrible situation here. Pandemic, I mean. Well, including, sorry, we'll start. So we are going to develop the virtual economy in metaverses and blockchain games, and of course, including those that support play to earn model using NFT on the Everscale blockchain. So for those needs, we are working on the idea of a GameFi Guild pilot program, if I can say so, which will financially support and co-finance GameFi startups. So I think there are a lot of ideas to implement. There are a lot of things to do within the framework of the Alliance. And as I said, soon we will announce the date of the AMA session, during which the members of the Alliance itself will tell more and answer all the questions of the listeners. So stay tuned, please. Just watch the news. We will soon come back to you.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you very much. I was the first to raise my hand, so I have a kind of a two-part question for you. So the first thing is most of the NFTs that you're talking about are actually NFTs where what you're doing is you're taking existing pieces and sort of selling. So you talk about collections. So there's existing collections that are being sold off, which of course I'm familiar with. There are projects out there now that don't use that same model. Instead, they propose the idea that people can come and create their own NFTs within a certain type of marketplace at any time. How would someone like that join your alliance? In other words, not just become somebody who comes in once the alliance is formed, but actually join your group as part of the NFT Alliance.
At that moment, Ron, I'm not sure that I can name a concrete criteria of for the members, but it is obvious that for the beginning, we started with those teams who already have strong experience in the blockchain, and I hope that initials of the alliance will be ready to maybe discuss it on the AMA, because definitely we are forming the alliance which is ready to co-finance, which is ready to take a financial part in developing new projects and co-financing startups and, I don't know, maybe perspective ideas and so on the stage when it's just starting to form. So yeah.
And there's about 5 at the moment, right?
5. What do you mean?
5 projects, five projects that are part of the alliance, 5 organizations that are part of the alliance, correct?
If we will take all marketplaces like Grand Bazaar, IO, Chess NFT, and Rust Game as IT Gold, yes, that is right.
Which is all kind of run through kind of a, they're different projects, but they're sort of being run and funneled through one. I don't know what to call it, holding organization, or I don't know how to properly say it.
Yeah, we may say that it is a collaboration. Like for Everspace team, for example, we are collaborating and co-financing this project, but it definitely has its own strong team, which is developing project almost independently.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
yeah. So I would ask, or maybe request, that you actually open the doors for other projects that also are in the works. Maybe consider that there are some really great ideas out there that aren't part of the group that you have now, that could contribute and maybe open the door to some really amazing opportunities. Because if it's an alliance, there are partners that are very interested in aligning at the onset and also help finance some of these things. So
sure, that's totally right.
Okay, Joanne, you have a question.
I did. Sorry, Marina, there's like a bunch of other, you're going to get grilled. That's a lot of hands up. So the NFT Alliance sounds really cool. I have just a few questions, some similar to Ron. I'm curious if there was a proposal on, if there was a proposal put on the forum, if I missed something official that went out, and is the NFT Alliance going to kind of act like an umbrella above all the other NFT projects? Like, will the tokens go to the Alliance and then go to the other projects? Will you be handling any of these finances that, fund any of the other NFT projects? Or how is that going to work out?
We are definitely moving to the situation when all the Alliance members will have similar rights. And I don't think that it will be an umbrella. We like this DAO situation, DAO idea, of course. So we are now trying to form some kind of proposal for publishing it officially, because it still had not happened. And I should say that we have some kind of working documentation which is open to the actual Alliance members, and we work together to form the strategy, the idea, and then when it will be ready, I suppose we will publish it somewhere, so the other potential members could join us and come with their own ideas and proposals. So that is, DAO is the main idea we are moving to.
Okay. Thank you very much. Alexander, I just called you Alexander, sorry, Alex.
Yeah, sure. Well, first of all, thank you, Marina, for stepping out and presenting this. I did contribute to the content of this proposal originally, but I'm kind of joining Ron and Joanne that we should open up the proposal for potentially more participants. For me personally, it's critical that we get some international folks because currently it's kind of, except our Chinese friend Lee Zachary Lee, it's kind of Russian speaking again, which is disappointing. And it's a pity, for example, that Michael Gord left because, for example, they have GTA Capital has a subsidiary which is in metaverses, and I think it's critical that we get those kind of folks, and maybe not just Michael, who is a member of the global governance. I think it's called Metaverse IO or something like that. But
yeah,
you would know it again. It's a pity that he left. So it's important to get folks like that. I did throw a couple of other names into the chat. So let's make sure we get some more international folks in there.
Yeah, it's definitely
Maybe
needed.
Chris can recommend some, some NFT or GameFi metaverse folks out of his, his ecosystem. So yeah, that for me that's important. Ben, maybe, let's Joanne in Netherlands and other places. Let's have it a healthy mix.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. I think if we're gonna form an alliance, that's absolutely right. It should be international. Second of all, I think that it shouldn't be, it should be a little more diverse in terms of just not nationality, but also in terms of projects that are out there that are willing to contribute some really, really fantastic ideas. And I could think of like at least 5 off the top of my head, which only makes the alliance that much stronger and more attractive to people from other networks that would be interested in joining. To just like Alex would say, it's a win-win.
Yeah, definitely the right comment. Yes, it's needed, and international members would be a great thing for us because, as I said before, the community, Russian-speaking community, is a little bit ignored sometimes, and we definitely need strong players and strong influencers.
Yeah, not to mention certain legislative issues that might come up as well.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Thank you, Marina. Thank you very much. It was fantastic. Does anybody else have any questions? If not, we are going to go back to Fabrice. Are you with us, Fabrice?
Yes, I'm hoping.
Oh, there you are.
Well, let's not. I see the sound going down automatically, so I am not sure I can. I will try to keep it high. So we started swapping tokens a few months ago, and I think that there are 2 important information that I can tell today to the community. The first one is that we are going to do the full swap on the Dune side. Well, we have started it yesterday, and we are going to do it in the next weeks. So I hope it will only take 2 weeks. But that way, we will have a complete set of the addresses that are going to be swapped. And this will allow us to stop the validators on the Dune side and be able to only focus on Everscale, so which is quite important for us. It's Dune holders, they should go to the website. So it's merge.dune.network and swap their tokens as soon as possible. Of course, they are not going to be immediately swapped on the Freeton side. But the second thing that we had an agreement with is the fact that we will be swapping about 1 million ton every month. So I think we should be able to finish the swap very soon. And of course, we could even go faster. But for that, we will need the Dune community to get involved much more in the Everscale ecosystem. So I call the community to participate as much as they can in the Everscale community. Of course, it's better when they have their tokens. So I think the two are related. But anyway, I think that's two very good news for the community. And I hope we are going to finish this swap very soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are asking when, and I think Ben would allow me to say that he's been getting hate mail for a long time, so that's refreshing. Thank you very much. And I know you work like a horse, so I know you're doing a very good job. So everybody, basically, just hang in there. It's all under control. It's being done. Thank you, Fabrice. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let me. I gotta pull this up. So I can't. I didn't memorize it. Hold on. All right. Yeah, you're coming up, right? Yeah. Let's head on over to our closing segment. Let's see. With his English wit, his fire-like grit, our resident Saxon, and his quick-witted bits. Go ahead, Ben.
Beautiful.
No triple X today.
Oh, that's the first time this year anyone's wrote a poem for me, Ron. So I'm going to keep that in my heart. Yeah, right. So let's get this out of the way. All super quick. Only a couple of ones because my attention has very much been on something coming up this week, which I'll save till last. I believe Marina's just mentioned, but just in case it kind of got caught up in the mix of the NFT Alliance there, Chess NFT have released a bit of a roadmap. Definitely worth taking a look at. Again, this is a big long-term project, which I love chess. I'm a complete chess geek, especially since this, so check it out, definitely. I also spoke to the good people over at Ni-Fi Club yesterday, who again, they have some big things in the works, so yeah, maybe a little bit of a false start for them, but they really do have something pretty exciting they're cooking up, so keep an eye on that one. My friend and yours, Mr. Morozov, he's going to be giving a bit of a speech at a presentation, a speech at a very prestigious government blockchain association event. He'll be talking all about DAOs, essentially, which is pretty cool stuff. Charismatic bugger, isn't he? Also, Utsav is working on the final tranches of the Hackathon writing contest and is working on a few cool things which he's presenting to us. I think, looking at extending the partnership. I think, I mean, just my opinion, but out of all of them, it's been one of the more successful collaborations so far. So, again, watch that space. And finally, I'm not even going to use my words for this. I'm going to share my screen if I can do. Right, dangerous times. Let's make sure I share the right screen. Here we go. Share. Can everyone see my YouTube?
Yeah, we can see your Pornhub.
Damn it. Right, and hopefully I've turned the sound on. If not, let me know. But 40 seconds of boop.
From 24-hour news 8. Developing that.
Yay! So, as you may be able to tell, we're coming back. What is it? A week tomorrow. A week yesterday we'll be publishing. So I've got so much content for this episode, honestly. For those of you coming on, it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be pre-recording it, like I said, so it's going to be more of a big visual affair. I've got some props and gags. Hey, it's going to be a lot of fun. Join us. We will also have a link for... joining as an audience if you want, but like I say, it will be a pre-recorded thing. So if you want to join as an audience member, let me know. And Joe, no, I didn't take you out. You were right there at the start.
Yeah, you took me out though.
No, I didn't take anyone out. You were all in there, weren't you? Did I?
What about the one when everybody was like flashing?
Yeah, Joe, you were right next to me. There you go.
But what about the one when everybody was a crazy one? You made a crazy one.
Joe, you're about 9 seconds in. Ron, you are eating a lovely plate of food somewhere in Greece, 20 seconds in. And
Mexico,
then everyone
Mexico,
flashes up again at
Mexico,
30.
Mexico was Mexico.
Oh, well, you've got a t-shirt that says Greece on, so that's just
Yeah,
confusing.
well, you never put on the shirt of the place you're at. That's the worst douche move you can do.
Is that why?
You never do that. Yeah, you never
that's
do
why
that.
I don't tourist very well.
That's
then.
why he put the place where I am in. And that's...
What happened to Ron's big fish?
So
yeah,
you
it's in
always
there.
exchange this.
Where's my barracuda?
Yeah,
It's in there about 30 seconds in. Like I say, yeah, it's a blink and you miss it situation, but all
Everybody's
the
complaining.
lovely photos you sent me are in there. So,
All right.
yeah, like I say,
right.
can't wait to get it started.
I had to bitch a little bit.
Oh, well, wouldn't be the same without it, would it?
It wouldn't.
But no, I
right.
wouldn't cut any of you.
We're just gearing up, getting
All right,
ready.
we have
for Thursday.
a few questions that were written into us, so I'm going to just go really quickly. So the first is when roadmap. So I'm not sure what roadmap you're talking about. Vlad, you're here. I have a feeling it might have something to do with a DeFi roadmap.
Probably they mean about the global roadmap of Everscale and other stuff. Yeah. Actually, we have collected a bunch of feedback about roadmaps from different streams inside the Everscale, including the technical stream, including the DeFi, the NFT and GameFi, the Metaverse stream, and several others. So hopefully soon they will appear at the website, if not already. So just go to everscale.network and check there. It's basically ready, so it just depends. Maybe if guys already managed to publish it on the website.
All right, thank you. Second question is it possible to make something like a community app on Everscale right now? Yeah, it is. Similar to couch surfing, for example. Okay.
If we can have a decentralized exchange, we can have a community app. No problem. I mean, you just need to architecture it correctly. That's all. I mean, if you like, I don't know how hypothetical is your question. Like, if you have a particular like project you want to implement, and this project is about like social app, just write me. I can help you creating the architecture for that. That will scale, well, infinitely. Yeah, we can create Twitter on Everscale right now if we want to. Like, I know how to do that. So you can talk to me if you want to create Twitter.
Yeah, did you hear that? And I thought
something.
there was actually a project out there that was trying to do that. So
I don't know, but you need to architect this correctly. Like, it's like, again, programming on Everscale is like programming. It's more close to programming database than the programming, program on local machine. And you just need to switch your head a little bit. And if you do that like that, then you can, well, how would you, if you take an I don't know, key value store, okay, just the Berkeley DB, and you would like to create a Twitter on Berkeley DB, could you do that? Yes, you can. Definitely. You just need to kind of, switch your head a little bit to the data model that Berkeley DB, supports, like arrays and so on, and construct your application in using architecture of your application using the data model that this database implies. So it's not very hard to do, actually, but yeah, you can do that. Absolutely.
cool, thank you. Will the KWT token be added to Surf? And if so, when?
It's not question to me, it's question to Surf, but it's already there. Now the Surf is going to add tip 3. Once the Surf adds tip 3, then the KWT will be there just naturally because it's a tip 3 token. By the way, I think the first lock is ending on 27 on KWT tokens, and there will be an update to DBOT which coming actually now, that will allow you to, like, if you want to unlock the tokens. But of course, it's not the unlock really, it's withdrawal. I just want to kind of remind you that if you withdraw that, then you won't be able to farm the stake anymore. But yeah, you will be able to do that. The dbot interface is there. And that's all.
Along the same line of question, will it be available on TonSwap? And because the person asking is saying that there's a large amount. Oh, no. Separate question. Sorry. Will it be available on TonSwap?
I don't really see any need to trade this token at the moment. Before remember, this token is to support other projects with the pools. Before we can actually onboard the other projects, then there is no reason to trade the KWT token. So that will go simultaneously, and you need to wait a little bit longer for that to happen. But I think yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Just we're waiting for Flex, as you know, and the Flex is coming along very, very nicely. But as we went along with the production ready for the Flex, we discovered certain things that we need to support, like institutional investors, for example, and stuff like that. So we had to kind of add this functionality before we're launching, because in one of the major downside of the critical financial applications on the blockchain is that you cannot easily upgrade them. Why? Because, for example, if we upgrade the if we upgrade the Flex contracts, we will need to redeploy the whole exchange. And because there is no set code mechanism, obviously, in these smart contracts, right? Because for security reasons. And so we don't want to do that. At least not too often. Obviously, we might, but I believe that the upgrade to the Flex should come maybe once a year, not every time. So so that's why this functionality, it had to be added now, before we launch the production mode. So all the functionality that we want in production mode for the core contracts must be added. And that's what we're working on. So that caused a little bit of a delay, because I thought that January we will kind of launch the Flex, but now it's February kind of timeframe. So we lost about 1 month right now.
That was my question. I get a lot of people asking me, when is Flex going to be launched?
I know. It's very important, but yeah.
So I can safely tell them February.
Well, you can tell me that right now the estimated time right now is ETA is February.
Probably safer to say soon.
Yeah, when I say estimated ETA, I meant soon. By the way, I don't hold any soon tokens, and this is the disclaimer.
Yeah.
They asked me for the address, but guys, you're not doing this like that. I mean, you can't ask me for the address, because I won't give it to you.
It's going to launch February 29th. I don't know if anybody got that joke, but
oh, that was so hard joke to get. I mean, I'm sure
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to others. All right. This is part comment, part question. There's a large amount of sums being pushed towards supporting the current exchange rate or the exchange rate of the Ever token. Wouldn't it be better to use some of those resources to attract new users, for instance, through for high-profile media personalities that are going to talk about us? So, I mean, I can partially answer that. So, look, I think Ton Labs just on its own has spent an exorbitant amount of money on PR and other things. And I think at the end of the day, it really kind of relies on people like yourself. I always get these questions of who's going to do something. You can do something if you can. But I guess the ultimate question here
Is it
Ron,
only me? Or
come back. Come back to us. You're going to make a really good point there.
Just shoot to the moon.
God damn it, come back.
Yeah.
Ron, you have to rewind. Go back.
I have to what?
You have to rewind to when you were just about to make a point.
Like a
yeah.
Oh, really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. All right. Sorry. All right. So basically the question is this. Could the Alliance divert some of the funds toward actually getting real high profile media personalities, both blockchain and off-chain, to talk about?
Isn't that the question to DeFi Alliance? Because who is spending this money?
I just said DeFi Alliance.
Vlad, question to you, I think.
Sorry, repeat again, please.
Yeah. So
why did you spend so much money on supporting the exchange rate of Evers rather than investing in marketing for Evers, blah blah blah?
Attracting influence, big names, both on-chain.
It's marketing, blah blah blah. I think, yeah.
Do you think that exchange rate is not part of marketing? A good exchange rate, sorry. Well, it is a question that has no right answer. So actually, do you see any strong marketing teams here? So I don't personally. And we really experiment heavily with different marketing teams to also, besides just helping to sustain the market price, whatever. But still, we cannot say that we found the ideal team. But we will have some announcements soon, hopefully, so that we have some improvement in this area as well. But also, so DeFi Alliance main objective is working with liquidity. So attracting liquidity, working with big investors, so on and so forth, and marketing and PR leadership. So they definitely will go to the foundation once it's incorporates. So and it will take the lead on this.
And I can add to that. I'm personally on my own time trying to get in touch with famous podcasters. I can't say it's going great. It's an uphill battle. Their producers are very difficult. Their agents are even more difficult. But there are some relatively very famous podcast personalities that aren't blockchain personalities. They're just people who think along the lines of decentralization, have the same views and values that our community does, who have millions and millions of followers. And I'm trying to get some of them to maybe talk about us, or at least have a initial conversation. And the way I do it is I understand that until I actually have a commitment from one or two of them, there's nothing I can do with it. But once I do, I would go to DeFi Alliance and say, hey, we have this opportunity. Can we finance this in order to make it happen? So I think that's an approach. So maybe try breaking down the walls and the doors yourself, because I think that's a fundamental entrepreneurial sort of thing to do. And once you make some headway and you can find that people are willing to talk, then come back and ask for financing for it.
I have a question. Marketing of what do you want to do?
Me, myself? No,
not you. Whoever asked this question, ask yourself, marketing of what? I think we're all living in this paradigm that we somehow need to make a marketing of ever or something like that. But my argument is we don't. We don't need to. That's not how the platform works. It created for something, right? And this something is you create something, you create an application, you create a project on Everscale because Everscale scales, and so on. You do this application, then you market this application, and from marketing of these applications, you kind of market us, right? Market the whole thing, right? That's how Ethereum was created. like if you remember Ethereum and before 2016, like what was Ethereum really? It was like very small project, but they didn't ask question, how do we market Ethereum? Like nobody asked question, how do we market Ethereum? How do we market Bitcoin? Nobody asked these questions. You really do something else. This is a core value. And if the core value is like, we can enable you to create an application on Everscale, which you cannot do in other blockchains, then do this application, market this application, attract some investors to this application. Yet, like you don't ask Amazon to to market your applications for you. Like Amazon doesn't do that, right? It provides you the platform. I mean, AWS, of course. It provides you the platform. You create an application. You don't ask Amazon to promote it, right? You promote it yourself. So why do you ask this question?
That's a good point. That's a really good point, because it's kind of like you build the combustion engine.
You do something, guys. Yeah. Do something. And there is right now dozens of proofs that you can do stuff on Everscale. Like you can do it. You can do projects. You can do DeFi. You can do NFT. You can do things. It's not that hard, and it's cheap, and it's great technically. It's really next step in the evolution of the decentralized computing. So this whatever you do can support. It will support your application growth for years to come. You won't need another blockchain. You won't hit those barriers that you hit on Ethereum. You hit on the layer 2. You hit in the Solana. You hit in any other blockchain. It won't be. I will remove all your barriers for your application growth. Okay. Personally, this is my commitment. This is not soon. I will do it. This is my promise to you. So just fucking do something. Create this application.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's yeah. Combustion engine. You build the car. You build the Ford Motor Company. It's not up to absolutely. So.
Yeah, guys. I also would like to add just my 2 cents. When we are speaking about the marketing of the blockchain, so I totally agree with Mita that although it should be more specifically developer marketing, like hackathons, like presence at specialized events and so on and so forth, explaining and educating, you yourself can do a lot. In fact, just by commenting and proposing products that are built on top of Everscale across the web, so under every post. So there is a famous use case of chain link fence. So each time someone gets hacked by due to the failure in the oracles, the chain link fence just immediately appear in the thread and start saying that if you used chain link, it would never happen, and so on and so forth. So just do the same. So just make Everscale visible.
That's exactly. I wanted to jump in and talk about exactly that. You don't even have to be a developer, but if you are just slightly knowledgeable about Everscale and want to help the entire ecosystem, you could just go into developer forums or where people are, jump into conversations, start conversations. You could see if somebody's talking about the lack of backwards compatibility, you can jump into those conversations and talk about how Everscale fights that. And these are really simple things that everybody can be doing, just a little bit every day, which helps a lot for the whole of Everscale.
By the way, you can make a lot of money. I think Everscale right now is creating so much opportunity for people to make money, actually. And if you're a developer, if you have any kind of merit and any kind of energy, you can come to Everscale and easily make money. This is one of the easiest paths to make money today in the world, I think. It just people are lazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about scammers going to scam some sub-governance. No, I'm talking about creating application. And there are like Everscale pays for real projects now, for all kinds of mechanisms. And we'll do even more of that. Like for when the DEX is launches and the Flex launching, the Launchpad is launching, what we are trying to do, what I'm trying to do, KWF is giving you the money to make great projects. It's really easy, it's a low barrier for entry right now. And the field is empty, more or less. You can do huge amount of stuff. And this is and the way to do it, and actually the best time to do it is now, because when the coin whatever will go in price for $3-4, believe me, there will be like sharks like flowing around like you have now in Solana and stuff, and the space will go very fast. So the best time to start, best times to start right now.
Numis, other projects. Sorry. Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, I think and I didn't want to say it that way, but Mita doesn't hold back. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a question of laziness. You're basically saying, when will somebody do something? Well, I mean, nobody's going to do it for you, but the platform's there. It's there, so you can use it. So just go and do it, man. And more power to you for doing it.
Yeah, guys,
so
and also
we're
yeah. So also in terms of developer marketing, so please don't forget that we have a brilliant website named Stack Overflow, where we got finally our own tag. So there are a lot of questions appearing. So please go, if you are knowledgeable enough, so go there and help answering those questions, or invent your own ones, write your own challenges that happening there. And believe me, this will just bring much more value for the networks than any PR articles published in some magazine.
True that. Absolutely. Okay, we have one question, one comment on YouTube, and I think we're done. The first is, all right, I'll answer it. Don't all. When is the price of the token going to go up? And then somebody responds and says it's going to be around $100 to $200, guys. So I believe the Academy is actually going to be organizing in the next month or two the Everscale Academy, a session on economic and financial acumen and understanding. I would strongly suggest that you go and join that course and learn economics, and then you won't be asking questions like that anymore. I wasn't trying to be sarcastic or condescending, but questions like that are just,
Yep, agree, so support.
Yeah. I wouldn't ask that question at the age of 10, let alone any.
I think any questions that starts with when basically should be prohibited.
Oh, we're not going to prohibit anything. We're open, but yeah, I mean, it's not an intelligent question for sure.
I think that sorry, one comment. I think that the best answer to when to people who ask when so when you will do the best project for our ecosystem, then the price will go up.
There you go.
It's up on you.
Yeah, get to work. Be entrepreneurial. And we have a comment that says it's very interesting conversation about nothing, market, blah, blah, blah. Well, without marketing, there wouldn't be anything at all, period. So I think maybe you should take some time and learn what marketing means. And believe me, I don't like marketing either. Joanne, I'm so sorry. I've always like, put my nose up at marketing. Marketing. You know what though? That's the world we live in. Without even in the days when you had to like trade furs for meat or something like that, or furs for logs, somebody was doing some kind of marketing. And if you're not doing any kind of marketing, it doesn't matter what you actually create. Nobody's going to know about it. So I would suggest that you maybe take a marketing course and understand that this is, yes, that's it. You, Ilya. Love you. All right, guys, gals, everybody, thank you so much for coming. I can tell you, we already have a really big presentation set for next week, and it's major. Vlad, I'm looking at you. It's actually going to be comprised of like 3 or 4 different parts, and it's going to answer a lot of questions. It has to do with roadmaps, for instance, and a lot of really cool stuff that came out. There's an announcement in some of the chats, but we're going to get into it next week. So I absolutely urge you to definitely come back next Tuesday. And other than that, I guess have a great rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. Until then, sayonara.
Bye, everybody.
Toodaloo.
Thank you. Bye.